it's more than just the effect of your garden itself. People can look at it and go, oh yeah, I'd like to try that. You never may fully appreciate how much you've influenced other people. Hi, my name's Tom, and I'm here to tell you about the things that we are doing to help birds come into our garden here in Bristol.
And here?
Good worky there.
Here? And here?
And then I'll do the water, then Nita will do the straw.
Yeah. Can I help you now? Put some straw in. So the garden is it's like a multi-year project. Still got lots of elements to put in, but as you can see, there's quite a large, wide open space here. One of the things we've done is to put in a lot more tree cover at the back, because there's not that many trees around this area of Bristol. We've been putting up bird boxes in different parts of the garden, as well as doing the bird feeders and the ponds. We have struggled to get birds in the garden, so essentially what we've done is tried to have the sort of mindset of a bird and think like a bird. So we do have cats, and there are cats in the area. We also have sparrowhawks as well. So this kind of large open space is probably not too appealing to a bird. So part of the longer plan for the garden is to essentially put in more height, more cover, certainly a sort of spiky cover. So there's lots more opportunity for sort of safe habitat and feeding, and yeah, just giving the birds that confidence to come into the garden. So here we have one of our bird boxes just tucked away here in the foliage. So it's got a nice bit of cover behind some spiky pyracantha, and we did actually get some blue tits in there about 2 weeks after putting it up. Certainly beats having just a sort of grey concrete unappealing wall. Further along the wall we have this ivy, which is actually growing out in the lane against our wall, and I think a lot of people would tear it down, but we're really glad that it's growing there. It's lots of nice berries. And we have another bird box here, which is a robin box, and sort of sticking with the sort of Christmas theme, we stuck our Christmas wreath on the front just to provide that extra foliage and that extra cover. And we have had robins looking at it, not go in it yet, but we're kind of hopeful that they'll take to it soon. We've yet to have any come in here. These are two new additions, the Swift Box and the Sparrow Hotel, all made from old floorboards, so didn't cost a thing. So generally the bird boxes need to be out of direct sunlight, so this is a sort of northeasterly facing wall. So yeah, quite a bit of protection here from the wind and from the sun, and obviously not up above the roof there where the cats could potentially disturb them or get to them. So I think we did the obvious things like most people would try, I guess, is, you know, I'll put a bird feeder up, I'll put a bird table up, and we'll put some water down. But still we were really disappointed about, you know, the amount of birds that we were getting in the garden. So after a while we're kind of thinking, well, you know, what are our real challenges? Yeah, it's just that cover. You know, if you're a sparrowhawk flying overhead and there's a small bird flying across a big empty garden, it's quite an easy target. So yeah, we're trying to change that as much as possible, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a few years, but we're looking forward to it. So thinking about the sort of wider nature network within our area, we do have a train line a couple of streets over, so we know there's lots of birds there that do fly over the garden. So we're trying to attract them down in here with the ponds, which is obviously a vital source for wildlife. But we do realise that actually they're going to need some protection to be able to come and sit next to the pond to be able to access it. So we've put in things like the birch trees here, we've put in the cherry tree, and it's kind of hard to see, but we've actually got some common gorse growing. So really dense, thick, spiky bushes that, you know, a cat can't get into. So just giving them that confidence to come and sit next to the pond and be able to dive in and out as they choose, and, you know, in relative safety. We're hoping that is, you know, a nice place to live next to, which is why the bird boxes are close by. So yeah, again, just thinking about, you know, just thinking like a bird really, in terms of, you know, what would you want to be able to live there? What sort of things do you need? Food and water and protection. it's easy to feel a little bit overwhelmed with, you know, the wider global challenges that we've got. But actually, sometimes if you just focus on what you can influence, so, you know, many people will take steps in terms of like their diet or the way they travel and the things that they buy. And this just is kind of like an extension of that, really, with our garden. We're just using that as an asset. You know, it's our remit. You know, we can control it, so we're going to choose to make it as wildlife friendly as possible, while still satisfying, you know, the requirements for our family, which is, you know, a space to grow things and a space to play. You know, and all those three things have actually managed to come together, and it definitely feels like you're doing something. You know, to be able to put something in and then see wildlife come in and then thrive and survive, it's definitely, you know, to have that feedback loop is really encouraging. And it's also encouraged us to talk about it more, you know, like we are just talking about it more. We are opening up the garden for people to come and see, and then people go, oh, that's a great idea, I might try that at my home. So you think, well, actually, it's more than just the effect of your garden itself. You know, people can look at it and go, oh yeah, I'd like to try that, and then, yeah, you never may fully appreciate how much you've influenced other people.